So my name is Andrew Bard and I own DermaPro.ph. And what DermaPro.ph is let's say a beauty care or skincare manufacturer that deals in real science. We don't believe in a lot of the organic stuff. We just test, we do our laboratory work, and we come up with products that actually function. But I'm not here to tell you about that. What I want to do is tell you what we know from the research side of things as to why soap actually does work very well against the COVID virus. The coronavirus, as most people know it as. COVID-19 is the research name. So viruses live outside the body. Viruses aren't alive. Let's go back on that. Viruses are simply programmed proteins that act in a certain way. There's no life to them like bacteria. But viruses will remain active outside the body. If I am infected and I cough, I can transmit the virus to you. Now, how do I do that? Typically, if you're not wearing a face mask, highly suggest you wear a face mask. Studies have shown it cuts your chance of getting infected by about 75%. So I will cough, you will inhale. Now you have the virus. But there's another way. I will cough, you don't inhale, but it gets on your skin. Or I cough on a door handle, you touch the door handle, it gets on your hands. Next thing you know, you're digging something out of your eye. You're putting your finger in your ear. Maybe something's in your nose, okay? Maybe you're eating and you get your fingers in your mouth. The point is you touch some type of wet mucous membrane on your face, typically on your face, that will then in turn allow the virus entry into your body. So how do we fight that? Well, there's a couple ways. People are using alcohol sanitizers all the time, and that's great. Alcohol sanitizers work very well. Now here's a little thing about that. 70% alcohol solutions work better than 90% alcohol solutions. I don't have time to go into the video as to why, but 70% alcohol solutions simply react with denaturing the proteins of the virus better than a 90% solution does. But as far as the soap goes, let's talk about why soap works. So the virus structure is primarily held together by fats. This is one of the reasons why soap works very well on the COVID-19 virus. And some viruses maybe not quite as well, but the COVID-19 is very, very effective. Not only are you taking the virus off your skin and shoving it down the sink, what we're really looking for is for you to wash your hands at least for about 20 seconds to give the soap time to interact with the virus. Now, what do I mean by interact? As I said earlier, the COVID-19 virus is primarily structured with a lipid, which is just a fancy name for grease, oil, fat, okay? And you're starting to see where this is going. Grease, oil, and fat is exactly what soap works against. It breaks down those things. That's why you can use soap to wash your dishes and get grease off of them. It breaks the grease bonds and it causes it to disintegrate, which causes the virus structure, which is primarily made of fat, to disintegrate and no longer function. It can't hold the virus together. There's no way to deliver the virus to your system. It can't infect you. But it takes time. It takes a little bit for that interaction to happen. You don't just take your dishes and dip them in the sink and all of a sudden they come out grease-free. You've got to you can give them time to soak, okay? Or you can actively scrub them and you can quicken the process. So when they're telling you wash for 20 seconds, that's not only to make sure that your hands are clean to wash the virus away. It's to ensure that the soap has time to break down the virus structure. So if there is some virus residue left on your skin, it's inactive. It's destructured, okay? So that's why soap works. That's why alcohol works. So just remember, wash your hands with a good soap. Lye-based really seems to work the best. If you can find that anymore, it's kind of getting difficult to find lye-based. But any soap will break down the lipids. Any soap should. Some people are calling some things soap nowadays that I don't really understand. But any soap, usually commercially available, should break down the lipids. Your face mask will reduce your transmission from person to person by about 75%. 70% alcohol works better than 90%. And if you have any questions, you can scan the QR code, go to the Facebook page, and I'm manning that because quite frankly, we're under quarantine here in Manila, so I'm sitting in the condo, as you can tell. We're manning that page. I'm personally manning that page for the next few days. So if you have questions, send a message in and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Okay, thanks. Again, this is Andrew with DermaPro.ph.